If your stats don't make you feel like an OP anime character shooting lightning bolts everywhere, you should stick around to the end of this video. Also, there's a new solo 17 kill victory, link in the description. What is good, IT fam? Today I'm going to bring you the analytical formula on how to obtain those magical double-digit kills and the cherry on top of a win. We'll be going over my train of thought as I play and my position ideas as situations evolve during the gameplay. You just never know what's going to happen. If you like this kind of gameplay analytics, tell me in the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you got any helpful information out of this video. Without any further waiting, let's get this win. So one of the main things that I'm looking at right now is where I'm going to land. I like playing objectives, so right now I'm going to try to go towards the scavenger, and if things permit, that is what I'm going to go and reach for. Now of course we all know Superstore is a real hot spot, so you got to always watch your back. So now that I eliminated that enemy, you can clearly see there are enemies all around me. You always want to keep that in mind. You're not the only one on the map. You always want to watch your back, like I said. Now, if you get stuck in between multiple enemies as I did there, there's no shame in running out, repositioning, and then looking around and see what you can pick off. Now my main goal at this point is loot up. It's the beginning of the game. Try to find something I'm comfortable with. Personally, in the beginning of the game, I like AK-47s. I like having booby-trapped lethals, so I'll pick up a bouncing Betty, place it down, just to have some insurance. If I get in a hot spot and I have to run away, I know which way I'll be running. That way I have cover with this bouncing Betty, just in case I have to replate. So again, like I said, always watch your back. You never know who's watching. In this situation, I ran into a stall and tried to replay it as much as I did. In that, I saw an individual run across. I went for the kill. Wow. I knew he was fighting with someone. Waited for him. Let's go. Emptied my clip on him. Double kill. Easy. Running Superstore right now. Trying to replay it as much as possible. So at this point, I know I'm 3 kills in. We had one creeper looking at me in the bathroom, so there's at least one person walking around. Always got to make sure you're watching your back, looking at corners, and ultimately killing people. So right now that was kill 4. So one thing I catch myself doing quite often is kind of walk a perimeter around the area that I'm in. So if you saw, I did a full 360 here, picked up a C4 and placed it on this dead body. There's a bunch of scrap everywhere, so it's just some insurance. Maybe someone walks by and I get an easy notification that someone just walked into a C4 once I see that crack. Now I went to the buy station, self-revive kit. I know it's single player and it could be considered a waste of money at times, but I like it just in case, especially if I'm going after kills. And that's why I got the UAV. I want to see what's around me, what I can go directly to and get the kill. So I locked onto something around 150 in bearing. Always make sure you're checking corners and heading directly to that target. Now I know my target is in this building. I push up on the roof, crouch, try to get some audio feedback. I break this window so I can see in. Now, that was a nice kill. My train of thought there was break the first window, bring attention to myself, break the second window just so I can have a clear view. It just happened that while I was shooting that second window, this individual went up the stairs and ate my bullet. So at this point I can see that I have money in my pocket. Again, we're going after kills and ultimately the win. My goal here is to go ahead, head to the buy station and buy another UAV now that I have some money. Oh dude, I swear that was a guy in a suit. Fucking pipe. Oh, shit. So at this point, I'm looking for a little bit more change to put in my pocket. I like having a little fluff just in case I get dropped and I'll be able to buy myself back. Now what I noticed here was I'm at 9,800. You need to have 4,500 to buy yourself back and then another 4,000 to buy the UAV. Public school education didn't teach me how to math. So I guess I didn't even pay attention to how much money I had at this point. So this leads me into a keynote. Make sure to constantly use your money when you can. So at this point, I'm just checking around and making sure that there was no one around. I heard some footsteps in this building, and I peeked through the door, and I see some shattered glass, and I figured this individual was running out into the parking lot. So I take some pop shots, hit him, he runs, breaks through the window, and I jump up the ladder. Now why would you go up the ladder instead of chasing him through the window? Just in case he wanted to sit back and wait, and I didn't want to eat a flurry of bullets while I was jumping through the window. And height advantage is always the better advantage. Currently, I'm just scanning and looking to see if I see him anywhere. I hear him bang open through a door, and I kind of wait it out. Instead of going to him, I let him come to me. Oh my! He slams open the door, and it looks like he placed a C4 before he did so. And the C4 triggered off of me and killed him, giving me my 6th kill of the game. So I went ahead and put the C4 in the corner, right in the boxes, kind of hidden all in between his scraps. Now I did this just in case he came back from the gulag, or he came back from self-revive, and he'll get hit by that C4, just to put a little salt in the wound. Now I noticed I have 22 grand on me. You should never have this much money. So I went ahead and bought a UAV, and also bought a loadout drop. My idea here was go ahead, get my overkill drop, and then go ahead and get my ghost drop. Now, I don't know what happened, had a brain fart, and actually got the wrong loadout the first time around. I didn't want to get this overkill one. I wanted to get the one with my HDR, but that was fine. I knew what I had to do. Suck it up, go into the next loadout, and just get my HDR. And then the game was on. I knew what was the next goal. Kills. Make sure that I'm not being spotted from any direction, and then just keep on pressing forward. Always press forward when you're trying to get double-digit kills. Never sit in a space too long. Don't camp in corners, don't camp in buildings. Don't camp in a helicopter. That's extremely annoying. Now, if your goal is to win the game, and you want to solely win the game, doesn't matter how many kills you get, then yes, I can understand why you would do what you would have to do and go ahead and camp in corners and all that. But for this video, we're going for kills, double-digit kills. We want 10 plus. Now, if you noticed right there, there was an armor sign that popped up. That C4 I put in that building, someone just ate it. So just remember, if you get a lethal that's just hanging on the floor, always pick it up, put it down, and then you can go back and pick up the lethal that you previously had. So here goes to show the importance of UAVs and information while you're playing this game. I popped a UAV, there's an individual in front of me, the goal is to get the kills. So I went ahead, rushed it, killed him, saw that he did not instantly die, and went ahead and finished him. Now remember my notes? Exactly. Someone went ahead and put a C4 right in the window, hopped over, and I ate it. And I lost a few plates. Not that big of a deal, didn't kill me. Picked up this guy's plates, carried on. My next train of thought was, alright, I need to keep this information going. I need another UAV. So I went ahead, went to the purchase station, got a UAV, popped it, bought another one. Noticed that there was a bleep right ahead of me. And I'm pretty sure it's the guy that I just killed. So I went ahead, ran directly at him, knowing that he was a fresh spawn. And as soon as I saw him, lit him up, took him out, nothing he could do. And I'm pretty sure that was the last time that he was in that match. I noticed that I had a little bit of extra change in my pockets. I waited until I got to the buy station and pop another UAV. I wanted every second possible to get as much information to know where the action was happening. So I went ahead and purchased it and popped the UAV right before I purchased it. So I saw there was a lot of action going on in the south. I decided, of course, to get the high ground. This is key in a lot of fights. High grounds usually win in fights. Went to the highest point that I could possibly get in that situation and started looking south. You can hear and see some tracers off in the south. Popped out my sniper, looked, tried to scan. Didn't have a really good angle of where those bullets were coming from, so I just re-angled myself. Waited for a second, kind of looked out in the distance to see where the shots were going to, since I saw the crossfire. Just looked around real quick, and then there it was. I missed the first shot. Don't know how I missed it. The second one landed. Missed the third. Missed the fourth. And then took him out with the fifth shot. Right in the dome. If you missed the first time, take as many shots as possible. If he gives you the opportunity and wants to try to kill you with an AR and you have a sniper at distances of 100, 200, 300 meters, then he's gonna lose that fight.
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
Big sack of cash. This guy had nothing on him.
So the reason I went up there was to get some more money. I have about 6,800 on me right now, and I just wanted to get some extra change, so of course I can possibly get a UAV if I wanted it. I have one equipped. I see the circle, so I start heading towards the circle. So here are my thoughts. Get in this vehicle and go to the buy station. Buy another UAV. One of the main things I do with vehicles is set them up in a position where if I have to get out of there quickly, all I have to do is hit the gas. So of course I wait until I get to the buy station, pop a UAV, buy another buy station, get in the vehicle, and then head out as quickly as possible, in and out. Now I wanted to get deeper into downtown. I wanted to kind of solidify my area, know what's going on, lower the chances of me getting ambushed by somebody. Always look at the roofs on downtown. Even if it's a quick glimpse, you'd be amazed on what the shadows will show you. Downtown is full of high-rise buildings. They can be on any single building. Can't stress that enough. Now you can see that I look at that really high building, and I do that a lot of the times in downtown. I look at the tall buildings that people like to camp. It's just good practice to make sure that no one is looking down on you or someone is falling on you.
Requesting recon. UAV entering the AO. Enemy UAV overhead. Enemy UAV overhead. Be advised, UAV is bingo fuel. RTB for resupply.
I most definitely treat downtown with a little bit more respect than any other place on this map. Downtown is full of corners, buildings, people can be inside of trucks, it doesn't even matter. They could be anywhere in any corner. That's why you always check your corners, and it could save your life. Now, what I'm doing right now is I noticed that there's only 23 people alive. So again, like I said, I'm trying to get my bearings of this situation, trying to see who's around me, if there's anything popping off, basically. So a lot of times people like to camp this officer building. So I popped my heartbeat sensor, easy ping. I catch this guy, seems like he's at the window. I threw a C4, blow it up, hit him, and that has told me, alright, there's a guy up there. So what I'm gonna do, I know I'm an aggressive pusher. I like to kill, I have good aim, and I'll probably win this fight if this guy doesn't have booby traps waiting for me. And of course, as I'm coming up these stairs, I'm checking corners. I popped the heartbeat sensor. I know he's on my right side. I check there's no C4 or claymores in that corner. I come around, easy kill. He was just sitting there. Now what I've noticed with people is if you actually wait in a corner and come against someone that has been moving the entire time, that person that has been moving usually wins the fight. The reflexes are just a little bit better, and you end up losing a fight because you've just been sitting there stagnant, not moving around. So try to get yourself moving. Don't sit in a corner too long. So the reason I decided to go ahead and get on the right side of the wall instead of being inside of the soccer ball field is because people like to get on top of the roofs of those buildings. And if I'm on the inner side of the wall on the field, I'm an easy target for anyone on the roof. So I'm a big fan of peeking doors.
Oh yeah.
I don't like running in there, especially if I know there's an enemy in the vicinity. So when I popped my heartbeat sensor, I was pretty sure that he was all the way up on the tower. Of course, I'm clearing the building, making sure that it is where I think it is. That is one fight you should never chase. If you don't have some kind of lethal to get up there to kill them, you're more than likely going to end up dying just because there's no other way to go up there besides that ladder. Now I tossed a grenade, it hit him, it didn't even crack him. At this point I'm like, well, that is all I had in my arsenal. I have the heartbeat sensor out, kind of tracking him, trying to make sure, is this guy gonna move or anything? Play the game maybe? This guy didn't do anything. He literally just sat there the entire time. So I look up, trying to see if maybe he was peeking a window. Absolutely nothing going on up there. That guy is just laying down playing for the win. And then I see this guy. I start shooting at him, kind of put some suppressive fire, get around a corner, notice he had ghost. I kind of chilled out, waited, he ran in front of me, took him out, easy kill. 11th one in the book. Now, if you're ever getting shot at in an angle like that and you're behind a wall, don't run out in the open. That is the biggest mistake you'll make. Like that guy figured out real quick.
What is that? Booby traps. Man, this guy's camping hard up there. Moving. Oh, we center circle. And right here.
Heading this way.
Fighting's done. The area's cleared out. Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone. Got a loadout drop inbound.
So if y'all notice there's some mumbling in the background, sometimes I say some things. Usually I am talking to myself, kind of talking to myself in the sense of, alright, what is my next step? What am I going to do? What am I looking for? What are the possibilities? These are the questions you should be asking yourself the entire time while you're playing. You're trying to figure out what is the best course of action to get you the kills and win you the game. Now, I'm heading towards a loadout drop because I know I don't have cold-blooded and I wanted it. So I went over here, checked the building. My heartbeat sensor didn't catch anything, but remember that bouncing Betty that I put earlier? It did. I ran in there and this guy was just sitting in the corner, probably plating. Absolutely nothing this guy could do. And that was an easy kill. So just remember, place those lethals. You place that lethal, go back, pick up whatever you had prior, and then you're good to go. There's no loss there. And you never know when it'll save your life or get you an easy kill like it did there. So if you notice, I'm looking out the window seeing if I see any silhouettes out in the distance kind of running across the field or something, maybe get an easy kill. So I went up here and I noticed that there was one guy and I saw another dude jump up the ladder. I wasn't going to go ahead and push two people at once. I went up, kind of got a C4 out there just to give me some insurance, and I took him out. This guy came in flying up behind me. Easy kill. Nothing this guy could do. It was very unfortunate for him. So while I was picking up some scraps, I caught something from the corner left of my eye. Took a couple shots, but didn't stay there very long due to the airstrike. At this point, I ran, kind of got covered behind my C4, put some plates in just to get myself safe. Pulled out the heartbeat sensor to see if I can catch this guy. Again, height advantage always, well, let's say 90% of the time wins fights. So as I'm moving around, I know there's a guy out in the back, somewhere in this area. Pop a UAV to see if I see anyone. I see there's a couple out in the north. I hear some footsteps. I look down. Easy kill. Height advantage wins the fight. That was my 15th kill of this game. Went ahead, picked up the stuff that I needed, kind of looked around, and then I started pressing. I was like, alright, the zone's coming in. Don't see anything behind me. I got the zone cover. Check my corner, still no one on my right side. Kind of push out and start looking around and seeing if I see anything that I can pick off. This is a great location if my left side is clear. Did a quick look to the left, did another quick glance to the left just to make sure I didn't catch anything from the corner of my eye. Check behind me, make sure there's no one behind me. Now we have a little camp settlement right here on the left. Kind of just ran in the middle. See if there's anyone running out of the gas towards me, because there is some tents. At this point, I felt like there was no one behind me, so I went ahead and kept on pushing. Slowly crept around the corner, noticed that there was a guy also creeping up on the stairs there. Took him out, took out my sniper, and finished him off real quick just to make sure he wasn't an issue later on. So at this point, there's a couple things that are going through my head. One is positioning. We know the circle's real small. There's only 3 people left. So I run to the firehouse just to see what this guy has, but then I get distracted by the gunfight across the way. I was about to get my 17th kill, but the guy took it from me. Now everything from now on is pretty textbook. I waited. I figured he shot somewhere in the vicinity of the police station. Somehow he got behind me. I don't know. It happens. All you can do is always check your corners, check behind you, make sure that there's no one actually tagging you or following you. So I kept on looking down that aisle, noticed that the zone was coming in. So I moved into the little opening on the wall. Zone's still pushing in, still nothing. And I continue to kind of wait it out. So right now, there's no need to push. There's no need to take any risky plays. Right now I'm at 16 kills. I know this could be my 17th kill with the win. So I play this as smart as possible. I run to the left wall and kind of get better positioning just to see if there's a guy that is in or behind the wall at that point. I push back to the center. I figured, alright, there's some coughing going on. I lit him up, took him down, easy. I do a little victory circle, got kind of excited, ran straight back, peeked the corner, instantly killed, no chance. Easy win. 17 kill victory. I appreciate all of you that stuck around and watched this and kind of took my keynotes into account, maybe learned a little bit here and there. You never know. Watching other people play, you tend to pick up other ideas. Again, I'm IT Gamer. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and drop a comment. Maybe there's something you would have done differently. And don't forget to maybe hit that subscribe button. Alright, y'all have a good day, and thank you for watching.
Nice.